Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing compares to catching your Grizzlies IRL. And that all starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight. Put that jersey collection to use for the next game and get Grizzlies tickets at Ticketmaster. Whether they're here at FedEx Forum or on the road, Ticketmaster's got your back when it comes to scoring tickets. And there's no better brag than saying you saw it live.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, one exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season. Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
Justin Timberlake.
I'm bringing sexy back.
The Forget Tomorrow World Tour. Live in Memphis. Justin Timberlake. FedEx Forum, Saturday, November 23rd. Get tickets now at livenation.com. The brand new single Selfish is available to stream and download now.
So if I get jealous, I can't help it.
For more, hit up justintimberlake.com.
Live from the Built Ford Tough studio at FedEx Forum, it's the Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Gary Parrish.
All right. I'm here. My name is Gary Parrish. I'm speaking to you from the Built Ford Tough studio, FedEx Forum, downtown Memphis. Bennett Doyle's right there producing the program. Glad he's with me. Glad you're with me. Hope you're getting through the day best you can. And I hope you're ready for the NBA Cup because it's going to make an appearance tonight inside FedEx Forum. Grizzlies-Nuggets, 7 o'clock. We're going to get you ready for the in-season tournament momentarily. First, though, quickly, let me set today's schedule for you. When we finish this open, we're going to take a break, come back, do 5 more things you need to know, at which point we're going to discuss 5 previously undiscussed stories, among them the Houston Texans, inspired by the announcement that they'll get to spend Christmas with Beyonce. They beat the Dallas Cowboys last night, no problem. Final score, Texans 34, Cowboys 10. It's a disaster in Dallas. We'll discuss that in about 20 minutes or so. The sons of 3 former Memphis Tigers led Arkansas to a win over Pacific last night. I'll run you through the numbers in just a bit. A YouTube personality, woman named Rosanna Pansino. You familiar?
No.
Me neither. But she's launched a new podcast, right? Mm-hmm. On episode 1, she smoked her father's ashes.
Oh.
Yeah. Makes me wonder if we're doing this right. We hadn't even thought about smoking any ashes on the show.
It didn't occur to me, no.
Not episode 1, not episode 100.
Did numbers?
I mean, here we are.
Yeah.
You know, it got a headline at People Magazine.
I got you.
It got a headline. Maybe we're not doing this right. Maybe we should smoke more on the show. Mm-hmm. What do you think? We'll discuss after we finish the basketball stuff. Pirate star Paul Skenes has been named National League Rookie of the Year. That happened last night. He celebrated on camera with his girlfriend, Livy Dunn. The internet spotted trouble. I'll ask Bennett what he thinks. We'll do that a little later on in the show. And it's football coach firing season in the American Athletic Conference. 2 more got axed on Monday. So 5 of the 14 AAC football coaches are now fired. And it's not even Thanksgiving. I'll run you through the names during a segment we call 5 More Things You Need to Know. Then we'll eventually do GP's carry out. We'll call it a day. So that's the rundown. We got a lot to get to, but I did want to start with your Memphis Grizzlies because Game 15 of Scheduled 82, set for tonight inside FedEx Forum. It's an NBA Cup game, so the stakes straight through the roof. Nuggets Grizz, it's group play, tip schedule just after 7. You can watch it on FanDuel Sports Network Southeast. Tickets available, Grizzlies.com. The Grizz are listed as 4.5-point favorites, in part, I think, because 3-time MVP Nikola Jokic is listed as questionable following the reported birth of his first son. Now, Big Bet Bennett, every father can make his own decisions. That goes without saying. But if I were Nikola Jokic, I wouldn't want to leave my baby boy so quickly after delivery.
Of course not.
If I were him, I'd stay right at that hospital, skip tonight's game, and rejoin my team Friday back in Denver. Isn't that what you would do?
It's definitely what I would do. Nikola Jokic, he's not some up-and-comer. There's not a lot to prove here.
Got nothing to prove.
Yeah, you can take a day off. And you're one of maybe, 6 to 10 players in the league that could take a day off and nobody's going to question you.
I think you're maybe one of one.
Maybe you're one of one. Nobody's going to question you.
Nobody's
going to
question you. We got questions.
Nikola. Where is he, by the way? Is he here?
I can't speak to that. I don't know. I hope
Has anyone
not.
spotted him?
I hope not, unless his baby boy was delivered at Regional 1.
We need some reconnaissance. We need to see if anybody can spot him somewhere, because that'd be pretty telling, right? If he's not in the city of Memphis, I doubt he's playing tonight.
Unless Baby Joker was born at Regional 1, I hope Nikola Jokic, the 3-time MVP, is not in Memphis, because that would suggest he's not bedside with his baby boy. And like I said, every father can make his own decisions. I'm not here to make decisions for Nikola Jokic or anybody else, all right? I'm not here to judge. I'm just saying, if I were a 3-time MVP with a subpar supporting cast that ain't helping me so much, with nothing to prove, I wouldn't leave my baby boy so quickly. I would stay right there, and I would just rejoin my team on Friday in Denver when the Dallas Mavericks come to town. Isn't that what you would do?
It's exactly what I would do. I was thinking, I wonder if this is his first kid,
It's his second child, but first boy. You can't leave your first boy so quickly. I wouldn't.
That's fair.
Every father can make his own decisions. I want to be clear about that. I'm not here to make decisions for the 3-time MVP. I'm just saying, as a father of 3 boys, I wouldn't have wanted to leave any of my boys this quickly.
I think what's working against us is because the first child you're in the hospital, you're like, nurse, we need you to please come back. We need you, nurse. And you're worried, and we're not ready to leave the hospital yet. Maybe we need another night. We're not ready for this.
Probably need another night.
Yeah. But the problem is that second child, the baby comes out and you're like, all right, we're ready to go home. Get us out of here. Let's go. That's the problem. That he might be too comfortable with his situation. He might just be ready to play another basketball game.
Every father can make his own decisions.
That's true, yes.
But if I were a 3-time MVP, I would not want to leave my baby boy so quickly. I would stay bedside. I would rejoin my team.
Get your wife some ice chips.
She needs ice chips?
She needs ice chips.
You can't even imagine what that woman has gone through. Would you really leave her so quickly? How much do you love her? How much do you love your family?
It's a fair
How
question.
much do you love your family? Is it more or less than an NBA Cup game in November on the road? That's the decision Nikola Jokic will have to make.
That's your choice
for himself. Because as much as I admire him as a basketball player, I ain't got no interest in seeing him play tonight.
No, absolutely not. We need to win a cup game. We've never won one. We've never won one.
We would like to win a cup game.
I would love to.
Our best player's out. Your best player should be out too. That's fair.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? That's actually, when you put it like that,
that's fair.
That's fair. If I'm the Nuggets, I'm like, hey, their best player's out. It's only fair.
It's only fair. Let's do what's fair.
Take another day.
How did we lose our way in this country where we can't even do what's fair anymore? Yeah. That's the most fair thing we could do tonight. Our best player is out. Your best player should be out.
Yeah.
Because their best player is unbelievable.
He's pretty good.
Have you seen his numbers this season?
Dude, it's insane.
It's insane how good he is.
And I mean, I like watching them the other night, and you mentioned their supporting cast. Like, I totally understand why he's having to put up the numbers that he's putting up for this team. Like, he has got them on his back.
You can't live like this, though.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
This will make you want to quit. You got to do this every night.
Yeah.
He is averaging so far this season, Nikola Jokic, the 3-time MVP, 29.7 points, 13.7 rebounds, 11.7 assists in 38.1 minutes per game.
Ridiculous.
He's shooting 56.3% from the field and 56.4% from three-point range. If we were voting right now, he would clearly be the MVP.
Without question.
And if he does keep this up or anything close to it and ultimately wins another MVP this season, he will become just the sixth man in NBA history to ever have at least 4 MVPs.
Oh, yeah.
Which brings us to trivia time.
I could sense it.
Who are the 5 men who have won at least 4 MVPs?
Okay. Has LeBron won? LeBron has not, right?
LeBron has. You're off to a rough start.
Okay.
LeBron has won 4.
Well, I know that LeBron, like, there's some seasons that it's been debated if he got snubbed or not. Like, he should have more MVPs.
Well,
so that's
like,
why
I'm not here to disparage anybody.
Because I really am not off to a rough start. I said LeBron.
You know where my heart's at, right?
Yeah.
I'm not here to disparage anybody, but LeBron should have at least 5 MVPs.
Yes.
And the one that he most got robbed was the one that went to, I'm not trying to disparage anybody, but it's the one that went to our good friend Derrick Rose.
No, no, it's not.
That's what people say. That is what people say. Because then they got into
We're
playoffs.
Not taking away. I don't give a damn.
Because then they got into the playoffs, and
that's a regular season award.
I'm not here to disparage anybody. You know where my heart's at. But then they got into the playoffs, and boy, LeBron, woo,
it's a regular season trophy. GP
he ate him up.
It's a regular season trophy. D-Rose was young, too. Come on.
Youngest MVP in
Yeah,
in
he
history.
didn't have the experience that LeBron had.
LeBron's got 4. You got one of them.
Okay.
Who are the other 4 men who have won at least 4 MVPs?
Has Jordan won 4?
Michael Jordan won 5.
Okay, yeah. So LeBron, Jordan. I mean, I'm sure Kareem is in there.
Kareem is your all-time leader with 6. It is still ridiculous he doesn't get thrown into the GOAT conversation with LeBron and Jordan because Kareem is actually maybe the greatest basketball thing we've ever seen when you combine what he did in high school, what he did in college, and what he did in the NBA. It's outrageous. He's won more MVPs than anybody. The number is 6.
Okay. LeBron, Jordan, Kareem, Magic?
Magic did not win 4.
No.
The other 2 are bigs.
The other 2 are bigs. Okay.
And bigs from
Tim Duncan.
No, didn't. They're bigs from a previous generation. You were too young to even ever see him play live.
Bill Russell.
Bill Russell is one of them. He's got 5. And the other is maybe...
Don't tell me.
Okay, Bennett. I'm sorry.
And the other's maybe what?
Maybe the most dominant...
Wilt.
Yeah. Wilt Chamberlain also won 4. The truth is Jokic should already probably have 4. And 4 in a row. It should be 2001, 2021, 22, 23, and 24. 23 is when they gave it to Joel Embiid.
And that was just Jokic fatigue. I stand on that. Yeah.
That's what that was. That was where we want to give it to somebody else.
We want to give it to somebody else because
and honestly, that's why LeBron stuck at 4.
I completely agree.
They just decided at some point they want to give them to somebody else.
Yep. It's very true. Like, I mean, and again, it's a regular season award. Joel Embiid had an amazing regular season, but like when you got in the playoffs, like it's...
Yeah, and it is a regular season award, but I think smart basketball people could make a convincing argument that even if you just take the regular season, it should have been Jokic over Embiid. But, buddy, once you got to the postseason, it was not even debatable anymore. That's the best player in the world. And so far this season, he still looks like the best player in the world. When he plays, whether he will or not tonight, remains undetermined. Again, the official listing at this moment is Nikola Jokic. Questionable personal reasons, those personal reasons being the reported birth of his first son.
I don't like that Zach Edey's out tonight.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah. The tweet came. I unmuted Grizzlies PR.
Hey, you got to know.
I had muted them to protect my mental health. You got to protect your peace. If every time somebody says something to you, just think about it in these terms. Because I had some people say, hey, man, you can't be muting Grizzlies PR. I'm like, I didn't block Grizzlies PR, and I'm not boycotting Grizzlies PR. I'm just protecting my mental health. They said, what do you even mean by that? Here's what I mean. If every time you saw somebody, if you saw somebody every day, and every day they made you feel bad, every day you saw them, and the first thing they said to you was something that made you feel bad or sad or disappointed or whatever, would you start avoiding that person?
Sure.
Don't we all have people in our lives like that at some point or another? Like there's somebody, somebody calls you and you're like, hey, what's up? And every time it's just the worst thing in the world. After a while, you're like, you got to go to voicemail. I can't hear this again today. Right?
That's fair.
That was my approach with Grizzlies people. I can't take it anymore. Every time I see it, it's just bad news. Except for last Friday. They had a good one, and I credited them with that.
They did have a good one.
They had a good one last Friday, and I credited them for that.
Yeah.
But I unmuted them because got to know. And John Moran had suggested that maybe I'd get some good news.
Also, Marcus Smart might be back tonight.
Yeah, he's been out with an illness.
Yeah.
According to Drew Hill, Daily Memphian, there's been a little bug going through the locker room. Been a little something going through the locker room. Do you think you got it?
I'm feeling okay now. My family's all sick.
Everybody's sick.
So I'm sure I'm next.
I feel good. I feel pretty.
You?
No, I actually don't.
I know you were seeming a little sluggish coming in here today.
Yeah, I feel fine now, but I was sluggish earlier.
Yeah.
But I'm getting going.
Okay, good.
I'm getting going. I'm getting going a little bit. Yeah, so I unmuted Grizzlies PR.
Yeah.
I had been protected by mental health, but then Josh suggested maybe we get some good news. And I was like, well, if they're going to, think about it the other way. If every time you saw somebody, you knew they were going to tell you something that made you feel good, wouldn't you want to see that person?
Yes.
So I unmuted Grizzlies PR based on a John Morant tweet, thinking that maybe I'd get some good news and make me feel good. I was also like, it's all about my mental health, protecting my peace. So I was like, okay, maybe it'll make me feel good. And then 5 o'clock yesterday, the tweet came, and it was Zach Edey's out, left ankle sprain. They didn't call it week to week, but we'll get that soon.
Yeah, I hope not. No, the thing is about that, like I'm not saying, we need Zach Edey against Nikola Jokic. Like I'm not Nikola Jokic is a 3-time MVP. Like I get it. What you need though is you obviously need his size, but like you need his fouls in this game. Like you really do. I mean, Jaren's been really good this season. That's been kind of the knock on him in years past is the foul trouble. He's been good. He's been really good at that so far to start the season. But that's going to be his job tonight if Jokic plays is guarding that guy. And, if you lose Jaren to foul trouble, who's guarding him?
Well, I mean, Jay Huff.
Jay's been great.
Hey, this is where depth comes into play.
Yeah.
We hate all the injuries, but the depth is helpful, and this is where it comes into play.
I'm saying I'd like to have Zach Edey tonight with Nikola Jokic in town.
Hey,
yeah.
We all would. We would all like to have Zach Edey.
Yeah.
But Zach Edey is a Grizzly. And when you become a Grizzly, these are the types of things that happen to you. All right? When you become a Grizzly, this is the type of stuff that happens to you.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, this is not the type of stuff that's ever happened to Zach Edey before.
Yeah.
Okay? Never. Do you realize at Purdue...
Played every game.
Except one in 4 years. Yeah. He spent 4 years at Purdue, and in 4 years at Purdue, the Boilermakers played a total of 139 games. And Zach Edey appeared in 138 of them. He played in every game as a freshman, every game as a sophomore, all but one as a junior, and every game as a senior. Then the Grizzlies used the 9th pick on him. Now he's getting hurt in Summer League, gets hurt in the regular season. This is what happens when you're a Grizzly. It's one of the biggest health risks in the world.
Is it?
Yes. Becoming a Grizzly.
Yeah.
I saw a study. It said biggest health risk in the world. Number one is smoking.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Smoking
Yes.
It's bad. That's why they put the warnings on the packages.
Right.
Number 2 was overeating, just consumption.
I believe they call that gluttony.
Gluttony. It's a sin, too.
Yes, it's a sin. Yes.
Not only is it a health risk, it's a sin.
Yeah.
All right? Learned that in 7. You might have learned it in church. I learned it in 7.
I learned it in 7 too. Yeah, I know. That's so embarrassing.
I
literally learned what gluttony means because of 7.
Everything I know about the Bible, I learned from Brad Pitt in 7.
That's embarrassing.
I'm just telling the truth. All right. So number 1 is smoking. Number 2 is gluttony, and the third biggest health risk in the world is becoming a Grizzly.
Damn.
I know.
Damn.
I know.
When you lay it out like that,
I know. Who do you know? How many healthy Grizzlies do you know?
I know. Like, let me look at the lineup.
Pippen.
Hang on.
Scottie Pippen's the only healthy Grizzly.
Dude, I know like 10.
Scottie Pippen, and it's probably because Scottie Pippen. He comes from a privileged background. He had a strong father in his life, strong mother in his life. they come from money.
Yeah.
So he's better equipped to survive this stuff.
Yes.
He's better equipped to
whatever you got to tell yourself.
He's better equipped to survive being a Grizzly.
Yeah.
All right? But for your normal day-to-day human, it's tough. And Zach Edey's your latest example.
Yeah. I'm glad
never had an ankle problem his whole life. Becomes a Grizzly, now he can't stop having ankle problems.
Yeah, that sucks. That sucks. I don't know what to say. Really.
7 was a wild movie, wasn't it?
It was a wild movie. It was a wild movie.
Man, when Kevin Spacey, when he walked in that police, and then that box.
Yeah.
Man.
I did. The reason I know what gluttony means is because that scene was wild, too. That big old dude at the table just like busting from the seams.
Did he just make him keep eating?
He just made him keep eating until he busted.
Man.
Isn't that crazy?
To bust while eating.
Yeah. Yeah. It's bad.
You ever felt like you was going to bust from eating?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I know.
Like
Me
at
too.
Thanksgiving, yeah.
Yeah. Do you eat? Do you keep eating when you're full? Like, do you clean your plate? Do you always have to have a happy plate? I ran into an issue at breakfast this morning. Let me tell you what happened to me at breakfast this morning. I went in. I said, I'm going to have a nice breakfast this morning.
Yeah.
I sat down. I ordered my breakfast. And it came, and I took, I probably ate half of it. And I felt like I was going to bust. And at that point, I had to say,
feeling gluttonous, yeah.
Am I gonna be a glutton? Or am I going to waste food? Those were my only options at that point. What do you think I did?
Stopped eating.
I stopped eating because I felt sick.
You wasted food.
What would you do? Would you finish your plate saying, "Hey"? Because here's what my papa used to tell me. He'd say, "Are you hungry?" He'd say, "You ready to eat?" I say, "I'm not hungry." And here's what he would say. He would say, "You don't eat when you're hungry. You eat to keep from getting hungry." Which I think is terrible advice, by the way. I don't think my papa knew what he was talking about in that regard.
Yeah, I don't buy into that.
Yeah, I
disagree.
I disagree.
Yeah.
With all due respect to my papa, I disagree. But that's what he'd say. He'd say you finish your plate, and I'd say I'm not hungry anymore. He'd say you don't eat because you're hungry. Eat to keep from getting hungry. You're gonna be hungry later on today if you don't finish that plate. That's what he would say to me.
Well, as someone who has 2 kids that are hungry at all times of the day except breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I do try to have a clean plate.
You like a happy plate?
Yeah, because I'm trying to set an example for them.
Yeah, you should. You should.
Why? I mean, I don't know why that is with young children.
You just want them to eat.
They're always hungry except at mealtime, like except at lunch and dinner. Like they're ready to eat all day. Can I have a snack? Can I have something to eat? Can I have something to eat? Dude, why don't you just eat when I put this big plate of food?
Ask for snacks?
Yeah, they ask for snacks.
But Noah can go get his own.
Yeah, but I have to police it a little bit, or he'll just keep going and getting
that's
snacks
our problem.
all day. Yeah,
like we have a big snack thing.
Yeah,
and that's all they do. They just walk around eating snacks all day.
Yeah,
like I mean, I can't. There has never been a 2-hour period I could walk through my home and not find a Capri Sun package and an empty thing of Cheetos.
Right,
it's always there.
So I got to police it a little bit, but yeah, he's always wanting snacks because he doesn't eat his dinner. Come on, son.
Kids like snacks. Kids like snacks, Bennett. He'll grow out of it.
Yeah.
Or he won't, or he won't. He either grow out of it or he won't. Either way, the Grizzlies and Nuggets are going to play an NBA Cup game inside FedEx.
You seen the court,
tonight.
by the way? Court looks great.
I've seen a picture of the court.
Court looks great.
Haven't seen it with my own eyes. Court looks great,
It's going to pop tonight.
These courts, people either love them or hate them, and it's all done on first impression.
Yeah, that's true. I actually, most of them, I've actually liked. The ones that kind of hurt of the one, like the Pistons was like all blue. That one hurts a little bit watching on TV, but most of them have looked good to me.
We got beautiful uniforms on Sunday.
Yeah.
And now we'll have a beautiful court tonight.
Yes, sir.
It's things are looking up, Bennett. John Morant said we got a good report coming.
Good.
In all seriousness, Taylor Jenkins had suggested, I think that's the proper way to say it, on Sunday that Ja would get more imaging done on Monday. So perhaps we will get an update today. A more specific update. They're never too specific, but a more specific update on John Morant and perhaps on Zach Edey as well. So I'll keep at Grizzlies PR unmuted for now.
Good.
Don't make me regret it.
Yeah, important stretch. 7 of the next 8 are at home, I believe. This is like one of the longest home stretches of the season. So, yeah, it's a big one.
NBA Cup tonight, Bennett.
Yep.
I don't know what else you want to do. Tickets available, Grizzlies.com. When we get back, we'll turn our attention to Monday Night Football. It's a disaster for the feel sick for my buddy Chris Vernon. He has to live through this. Like me, I can just change the channel. I don't really care. he has to live through this.
Yeah.
It's a disaster.
No.
And there's some. I didn't know all these numbers until I started reading this morning. It's like historically bad in Dallas.
Yeah, they're terrible.
It's historically bad. I'll run you through some facts connected to them. We'll do that next. Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South.
We didn't talk about owling, and you're telling me you didn't know owling?
What the hell is an owling?
Owling is worse than Tebowing.
What is an
How
owling?
far can Kyra zoom out on this camera?
She can zoom all the way out.
Can
Are
she
you gonna
zoom
hit us with
out?
that? What are you doing?
I'm owling.
Okay. Wait, why were we doing this? What is that?
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Who will lead the Grizz in steals this season?
I'm going to go with Pippen for steals this season.
So I'm going to go with Jaren.
I'm going to go, as long as he's in the rotation, I'm going to go Jake LaRavia for total steals, and I'll have Marcus Smart in my back pocket for steals per game.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizzbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
There's no substitute for experience, the knowledge gained from having been there before, and the passion to share what you know to make everyone around you better. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Grizzlies fans, dunks, dimes, and no-looks are great on TV, but nothing compares to catching them IRL. And that starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight in person. From seeing your favorite Grizzly stars up close to hearing the squeak of the sneakers on the hardwood. Put that jersey collection to use and get tickets at Ticketmaster. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside, Memphis.
Orthopedic injuries can be unpredictable, unforeseen, and unscheduled, and Ortho South understands this better than anyone. Since your injuries don't make appointments, you don't need to either. And that's because Ortho South welcomes walk-ins during the weekdays and the evenings and even on Saturdays. So next time an unforeseen injury makes an unscheduled appearance in your life, visit orthosouth.org to find your nearest urgent care location. Just walk in, and Ortho South will take care of everything, especially you. Learn more at orthosouth.org. That's orthosouth at orthosouth.org. Now, I got 5 more things you need to know.
Number 1.
Final score, Monday Night Football, Texans 34, Cowboys 10. Bennett thought we might see some funny business. Turns out we just saw the Cowboys get blown out.
Yeah,
yet again.
Chris told me yesterday, like in the chat before we went up the show, he was like, "No, that's you're wrong here." Dude, I know. I didn't see it. I don't know. I thought because it was like a primetime game and the Cowboys, had an extra day of practice and it's kind of a in-state rivalry, if you want to call it that.
They've lost their heart. I know Jerry Jones says that's
Texans
not true.
have been in close games.
And I know McCarthy says that's not true. But I've seen this before. That's a team that's lost his heart. They ain't got no heart. They lost the quarterback, then they lost their heart.
And their stadium's falling apart.
And their stadium is falling apart.
Big ass sheet of metal fall down?
That's a big piece of metal they got up there.
Yeah, dude. That's
come on, Jerry Jones, get your house together.
It's so interesting watching him do these post-game interviews. Like, he just, he's a billionaire. He's a proud guy. Like, but he just, like, he will never, ever, take the fall for this kind of stuff ever.
Remember when there was a time we went through this? I think we're over it now. Evidence being that it never comes up ever again. At least I've never brought it up, and I've never heard anybody else bring it up for years. But there was a time where people would be like, "I wish Robert Parrish would talk more, or talk at all."
I remember that too.
And there was a part of me that was like, "Yeah, I wouldn't mind that." But I don't need this.
No, dude.
I don't need you talking this much.
And if you honestly, that it's interesting you bring that up. When you think about it, what owners do you know that talk besides Jerry Jones?
Well, I mean,
There's
Mark Cuban will talk.
Okay, but he's not an owner anymore. Not really.
Woody Johnson, you'll see talk
Ballmer
every once in a while.
Yeah.
Ballmer sometimes. But most of them don't speak publicly about things. They just own.
But Jerry does after every game.
Every game, pregame. You probably get him at halftime if you wanted to.
Yes.
I don't need any owner talking as much as he talks, because he doesn't seem to help himself too often. With his words. It doesn't seem. Among the notable things he did say last night, first off, he rejected that they've lost their heart. But
I'm watching the game.
You get blown out every game, right?
Yeah.
You are historically bad in this stretch. It looks like a heart problem to me, but a talent problem.
I think that offense has lost
injury
its heart.
problem and all that. But you got a heart problem somewhere.
No, they sucked with Dak too. So that's what's going to happen at the end of this season. Is they're going to be they lost their quarterback. No,
they were sucking before they lost their quarterback.
No. Yeah.
So he rejected the idea that they quit, or that Mike McCarthy's lost the team. And he was pretty adamant he's not going to make an in-season coaching change.
Well, I think McCarthy's contract's up after this season.
Everybody's contract's up after this season.
Yeah, so he's gone.
Of course.
Yes, he will not be back.
Of course. But do you let him continue? I think it's 7 games left.
I think so.
Or you don't care? So
I guess there's some, if you put in an interim, the thing is it's the Dallas Cowboys. So even if they put in an interim coach and he turned it around and they, won, whatever, 3 of their last 4 or something like that, can you really, as the Dallas Cowboys, say, this would be our guy? No, you're going to go out and make some splashy coaching hire.
Sure, I don't think you make a change now because you're trying to find your next guy on staff as much as you make a change now because you're tired of people talking about whether you're going to make a change.
I think you just
sometimes you make the change because you just don't want people to ask you every day if you're going to do it.
Right.
So let's stop talking about it and talk about something else. And maybe. Who's the most popular guy on the coaching staff? Let's put him in charge and see if the players will rally around him.
That's fair.
Something like that. It doesn't always work. In fact, look, I think there's 2 in-season changes so far in the NFL, and they've gone different ways. Mm-hmm. The Jets fired their coach and got worse. And New Orleans, I think, fired their coach and got better.
Mm-hmm.
All right? So it can go either way. It doesn't guarantee anything. But at some point, if you really do get to a point where you feel like the guys just aren't playing for this guy anymore, or you're just tired of all of the. They're waking up every morning on ESPN talking about, are the Dallas Cowboys going to make a coaching change? If you're just tired of that, then those would be among the reasons to do it. Let me run you through some numbers. They're now 3-7. They've lost 5 in a row. They had recently, first off, before they won 12 games, 3 straight seasons.
No, they were expected to be really good this year,
and then it just falls off.
Yeah.
They went 12. At least 12 games in 3 straight seasons. Now they're 3-7. Through the stretch where they'd won at least 12 games in 3 straight seasons, within that, they had a 16-game home winning streak. Now they've lost 6 straight games at home. Not to mention the building's falling apart.
Right.
And they last night became, this is terrible history stuff. Last night, the Cowboys became the first franchise in NFL history to trail by at least 20 points in at least 6 straight home games. They've been down at least 20 in 6 straight home games. That had never happened to an NFL team before. Not your expansion Jacksonville, not your terrible you name it. What the Cowboys are doing right now inside AT&T Stadium that is falling apart has never been done before.
That is crazy. I'm surprised the Lions never did that.
You'd think I'm sure they tried.
They were terrible forever.
I'm sure they tried. I'm sure they did their best.
That's wild. If I was them, I've seen his name thrown out there. I would take a hard look at Mike Vrabel. I would. I don't know. honestly, I'm surprised the guy doesn't have a job in the NFL. Maybe he's just taking a year off waiting for like a certain gig to open. I think he was one of the best coaches in the league. Like, I know that those Titans teams, it ended the way that it ended, but, he didn't trade A.J. Brown. And I feel like that some of his teams, they outperformed the level of talent that they had on those teams. That's a guy that I'd be looking at if I was them.
Seems to have a good reputation. I think a lot of people were surprised he didn't land in New England once they moved Belichick out.
Yep.
Then surprised he didn't get another job. Belichick, by the way, also theoretically available. Deion Sanders, theoretically available. Like, I saw them debating this morning on ESPN. Like, if you're Deion Sanders, would you take the Cowboys job? Like, of course he would.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, what? He's Coach Prime. You don't think he wants to be coaching the biggest brand in American sports, maybe? Of course he would. Like that. The question, if you want to ask, I'm not trying to get up, but if you want to ask a question, it's like, should the Cowboys seriously consider Deion Sanders? It's not, would Deion Sanders consider the Cowboy? He'd jump at that.
Yes.
We had Michael Eaves on yesterday. He didn't think that made sense. I'm not 100% sure I'm a believer that Deion Sanders works in the NFL, but I'm also not a 100% non-believer. Like, the guy has been undeniably successful, and I tend to try to believe in people who are consistently successful at what they do. So I wouldn't rule it out, but I'm not sure of it. Either way, they got big problems in Dallas. I hope they figure it out someday.
Sure.
But it doesn't look like they're close to doing it now.
Number 2.
Arkansas Razorbacks won last night. They beat Pacific in a game at Bud Walton Arena that was close for a minute, but then ultimately the Razorbacks pulled away, and they pulled away behind some impressive performances from the sons of former Memphis Tigers who played for Cal at the University of Memphis. We've touched on this before, but I wrote about it this morning for the lead of the top 25 and 1, just because I know Arkansas fans know this, and I assume most Memphis fans know this, but I don't know if around the country people really know that. Like, last night at Arkansas, Cal only used 7 players, and 3 of the 7 are the sons of former Memphis Tigers that he coached here in the city. The best one is Adu Thero, who is Almami Thero's son. Last night, 23 points, 6 rebounds, 4 steals, 2 assists. He was a bit player at Kentucky the past 2 years. He's a junior in college. This is his 3rd year. Cal typically doesn't recruit players he expects to have for 3 straight years. This coach one and done. But Adu was not as heralded as a typical Kentucky player. Honestly, probably just took him because he saw some potential and all that stuff, and as a multi-year player, but because he had a relationship with Almami. So Adu goes to Kentucky, and he's just sort of stuck in a reserve role, and really, even when he does play, not producing much at all consistently. But now he's the leading scorer on a top 20 team. Again, last night, he got 23 points, 6 rebounds, 4 steals, 2 assists. I watched John's post-game press conference, and he was like, he was asked at some point, like, what's the difference? He was like, well, the difference is he's growing into his father's body. He's like, have you ever seen his father? Do you remember Almami?
Yep.
I mean, just put together.
Yes.
Just from the moment he walked on campus, just put together. Adu wasn't built that way. But now he's up to like 6'8", 220.
Yeah, and got a couple of years that college football weight training or college basketball weight training.
And he's a real athlete. Like, John sort of said this just off the cuff last night, but there's some real truth to it. Or at least possibly some real truth to it. He's like, think about this young man. He's a 3-star recruit coming out of high school. Comes to Kentucky, barely plays for 2 years. And now what? Could be a lottery pick?
Wow.
He could be. I mean, if you're looking for non-freshman, non-international players who are popping early in the season on NBA radars, Adu Thero is clearly one of them. Again, he was excellent last night. Then you had DJ Wagner, DeJuan Wagner's son. He had 14 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds, 2 steals last night. And then Billy Richmond III, who, of course, is the son of Billy Richmond, he got 9 points and 3 rebounds off the bench. There's a 4th son of a former Memphis player actually on the Arkansas roster.
I didn't know that.
Aiden Kelly, who is the son of Antonio Burks.
Really?
Is I believe, a walk-on at Arkansas.
I had no idea. That's awesome.
They might put him on scholarship just because they might not have filled all 13 scholarships. But Aiden Kelly is on the Arkansas roster. He graduated. I didn't even realize this. Like, apparently my kids went to school with Antonio Burke's son last year. He graduated from North Point Christian School down in South Haven.
That's pretty cool,
and
man.
Was a nice player for them. You know, he's a little on the smaller side. He's not.
So was Antonio.
Yeah, he's not his father.
Still made it to the league.
That's right. Burks played parts of 2 seasons.
He was here
with the Grizzlies. You know,
my favorite Tiger ever. Yep.
What maybe in terms of the guys I covered.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of the guys I covered, I got along with a lot of those guys.
Yeah.
But I really love Antonio Burks.
Me too. It's just cool when like a Memphis kid was like when they were consistently having Memphis kids, and then one of them was awesome.
Yeah.
Like that was always cool.
I loved Antonio Burks, and so his son. It's interesting. I didn't realize any of this. It's Antonio Burks' son, Aiden Kelly, and his stepfather, Aiden Kelly's stepfather, is Tony Harris.
How about that?
How about that? So there's 4 sons of former Memphis Tigers on the Arkansas roster right now, and Arkansas, of course, off to a nice start. They took the 1 loss to Baylor on a neutral court, but outside of that, it's been nothing but wins. And as far as Thiero, Wagner, and Richmond, those 3 right now are combining to average 31.1 points, 11.3 rebounds, 5.8 assists, and 5.1 steals per game through 4 contests. So as I wrote, we'll see where Arkansas goes this season. It's obviously a lot of new pieces, and Cal's having to figure out how to make it into a competent team. But if Arkansas ends up being good, the biggest reason will be because Cal is now coaching, let's just say at least 3 relevant players, all of whom happen to be the sons of men he coached at the University of Memphis, a couple of decades ago. So it's just a little interesting, neat story that underlines a couple of things. A, John's been coaching for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And B, and you made this point last week, and it's exactly right, Memphis fans can feel about John however they want to feel about John, but like his former players tend to love him.
Absolutely.
And, one way to support that statement is that they are sending their children to play for him the same way they once played for him. So it's just a neat little story.
It is cool.
Happening over there in Fayetteville.
By the way, how good is the SEC this year?
Great.
It is great.
Yeah.
They got 7 top 25 teams.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know that they have as many true national championship contenders as, say, the Big 12, but the SEC might put 11 teams in the NCAA tournament. Like, that's not crazy. And that would tie a record. The ACC holds the record for most teams in the NCAA tournament in 1 year.
Yeah.
And it's 11. But the SEC could tie that this year, and the Big 12 could as well. If I were predicting right now, I'd say the Big 12 and the SEC are going to combine to put at least 20 teams in the NCAA tournament. At least 20 of the 68 will come from those 2 leagues.
Dude, like Georgia's 4-0.
Yeah. Yeah, but a lot of those schools haven't done anything yet. But no, it's the depth of the league is as, I don't think this is hyperbolic, as good as it's ever been.
Yeah.
The depth of the league is as good as it's ever been. And the reason for that, by the way, what do you think? What's the best explanation for it? Why is the SEC suddenly awesome at basketball?
Well, I can remember the shift like years ago when they just started putting money into it and hiring.
That's it. You just stop with that word.
Coaches.
Money.
Yeah.
It's just money. They have more money than anybody else.
Like they started,
and they're not afraid to throw it around.
I can just remember that run when when Bruce Pearl came to the SEC, and that they just, all those schools just started hiring like high-level basketball coaches.
Well, look at the coaches in the league right now. Tell me when you hear a bad coach.
Okay, all right. I like this.
Bruce Pearl. Auburn has Bruce Pearl. Tennessee has Rick Barnes. Alabama has Nate Oates. Texas A&M has Buzz Williams. Kentucky has Mark Pope. Mississippi State has Chris Jans. Arkansas has John Calipari. LSU's got Matt McMahon. Ole Miss has Chris Beard. It's just like...
It's like a who's who of college basketball now. Yeah.
These are all...
Yeah.
They're not all great. I skipped some names you might have noticed. But there's some heavy hitters in this league. But to answer my own question, and you got it right, It's money.
Yeah.
The rules have changed to put the sport in a place where money is quite literally the most important thing. And whereas in the Big Ten, where they also have a lot of money, sort of the culture connected to those institutions and some of the men coaching those programs, they're not as willing or eager to just go out there and throw money around everywhere. They'll do it, but they're not as, just whenever you get bored, go Google top 30 transfers in college basketball this past offseason, top 50 transfers this past offseason, and start looking at where they landed. It's Big 12 and SEC. Why?
Interesting.
Because they're throwing around more money than anybody else. Those two leagues, that's what coaches tell me. Those two leagues are throwing around more money than any other league. And the reason is because once in the SEC, Kentucky and Alabama start doing it, and Auburn, well, then if you want to keep up, you got to do it.
Yeah.
And same thing in the Big 12. Once Kansas and Baylor and Texas are throwing around millions of dollars, then you go to your administration and you say, I can't play with these people.
Yeah.
We're losing. Like, I got a better relationship with that family, with that player, with his AAU coach. They wanted to come with us, but we didn't have the money, and they did. All right, well, here's your money. Go get it. Now, everybody's money goes from here to here, and now you're just throwing around evidence being, you see, Tyreek Smith got a new contract yesterday, I assume. Kansas State.
Yeah.
What league? Big 12. That's always the place he was going to land, a place like that. Big 12 and SEC, they're throwing around tons of money. That's why those two leagues are the best leagues in the country right now.
Number 3.
Okay. There's a YouTube personality named Rosanna Pansino. I guess on some level, I'm a YouTube personality.
I think that's
YouTube.
Am I?
I think so. I think so.
Never considered myself that.
I consider yourself that.
Okay.
I consider yourself that. Sometimes I go back, I'm looking for little clips or something. I go back and I'll start watching little stuff that you make me laugh a lot.
Oh, thanks, man. You make me laugh too.
You make me laugh a lot.
I appreciate that.
You got your little facial expressions and your little quips here and there. You make me laugh sometimes, Big
try my
Ben.
best.
You're a YouTube personality just like Rosanna Pansino. So Rosanna Pansino, she's just like you. She's 39 years old. She's a YouTube personality. And she has started a podcast because everybody in America now has a podcast.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
That's the American way.
They sell microphones on Amazon.
Yeah, they're cheap.
Yeah, it's no problem.
Oh, she's a baker.
Yeah, I guess so. So, anyway, yesterday was episode 1 of her new podcast, and I didn't know I was going to watch it or listen to it. I didn't know who this woman was before yesterday. But she went to tell a story about her father. She lost her father, a few years back. And she said her father's final wishes, she's telling the story, final wishes, she said was he wanted her and her mother and her sister to take his ashes. He'd be cremated, his body cremated. Take his ashes, mix them with a marijuana plant.
Yes.
Grow a marijuana plant in part with his ashes, and then let's smoke it. Smoke me. He wanted his daughter to smoke him. And so in episode 1 of her new podcast, Ridiculous, Rosanna Pansino.
I'm looking at the video.
She smoked her father's ashes.
Yeah.
On camera. Look.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a nice dress,
Yeah.
It's a nice dress. That's what I was trying to say.
Careful.
I really was trying to say dress.
Okay, good. I guess my thing with this is why that?
I don't think I'd want my kids to smoke me.
I don't think I would want my kids to smoke me.
I wouldn't want to encourage my kids to
Yeah.
smoke. And I'm not against smoking, but I wouldn't want to encourage that.
Maybe just go. You could go dump me somewhere.
Just
Isn't that
dump
what
me
people
somewhere.
Like dumping people somewhere.
Just dump me somewhere.
Dump me somewhere cool. Dump me in Machu Picchu.
You ever know
I
what
love it there.
You ever know, like what are you?
No, I think that's illegal.
I actually think people should give instructions.
Yeah.
On what to do with your ashes.
Well, wait a second.
Because otherwise you just end up with a bunch of ashes. Like I'm not trying to be.
I've had one of my dog's ashes forever. And I don't know what to do with it. It's just like hanging out in the closet.
I'm not trying to be funny right now. I have so many ashes at my house.
What do you do with them?
I don't know.
There's nothing. You just keep them.
We just have ashes at our house. It's outrageous. Shouldn't we not have that?
I mean, great. Like paying for like a what do they call it? A tombstone and a casket and all that's expensive.
Yeah. No, I'm not. I think I am pro cremation. Actually, like
I don't really know.
I think I'm for it. I think
you are.
I think just burn me up, man. I don't care. What do I care? Right?
Yeah.
I'm not against. This is not a commentary on cremation. It's a commentary on what to do with the ashes.
Yeah.
Like I'm not joking. I've got ashes at my house and lots of them, and I don't know what to do with them. There was a time they were just sitting because everything just sits on our dining room table for weeks at a time.
Yeah.
It'd just be you walk in every day and well, there's so and so.
Apparently, you need to roll that shit up, bro.
Maybe I should just smoke.
Yeah,
all the ashes.
Smoke it. Now, again, she did not just roll the ashes up into a joint and smoke it. That sounds disgusting. She grew a plant.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, I think I would have just stopped at growing a plant. That's nice. You know,
just grow me a plant.
Grow a nice plant in the yard with the ashes, and then you have a beautiful plant to look at to remember your dead relative.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But then what happens here's what happens. This really did happen.
It dies.
Yes, because you don't take care of plants. Nobody takes care of plants.
And then you killed your relative again.
So they die twice.
Yeah, that's actually, That's now that you mention it.
It's tough. Yeah, no, we've done that. Hey, you know what we should do? We should get the ashes and plant a tree. All right, I can call them. I can call the shrubbery people and get that done. But what are we going to do when the plant dies because you haven't even looked at it in 3 weeks? Because that's happening. There are no alive plants in my house. Zero.
I saw that I know, same, dude. It sucks. It's embarrassing because I'm like the new neighbor on the street, and everyone on my street's got nice yards, and I try my best, but I got stuff going on.
Dude, the first year we lived in our home, the sprinkler system went weird, and I just never addressed it. I still have a sprinkler system at my home that's never been used. I could just call somebody to fix it. I'm going to do that before next summer. I'm going to try to have plants again.
Listen,
dude, when we bought our house,
you say that. I tried this. I mean, dude, I just got into a new house this year, and the whole time I was like, this yard's gonna look immaculate. My neighbors are gonna be like, this is a great neighbor right here. This is great. And by the end of summer, everything was crispy and dying.
No, my yard's fine because we have lawn service. They do that.
You.
But when I bought my house, there was literally a rose garden.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How long do you think that lasted?
Yeah.
4 months. But my house came with a rose garden, and now that's been gone for a while. I know this new administration's got a lot of plans. I wish one thing they would do is make this executive order. If you're going to be cremated, you have to leave detailed instructions for what to do with your ashes.
Yeah.
Otherwise, your kids just sit around with your ashes for the rest of their life.
Right. I think that's...
And I know that means something to some people.
Mm-hmm. You're not the sentimental type.
I am the sentimental type.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I don't think anybody should have a closet full of ashes. Well, there's so-and-so, and over here so-and-so, and, there's so-and-so.
Yeah.
That's really my house.
I know, that's one of my big, I swear, one of my big fears, because we only have one thing of ashes. It's my old dog. And my biggest fear
is... you start counting dogs. We got...
Oh, dude, one day, my biggest fear is one day I'm going to walk in there and, the 2 or the 1-year-old is going to be, dumping them all over himself. Yeah, that's...
I could put a basketball team on the court if you want to count dogs' ashes.
Yeah, right.
I got more ashes.
Why do I have my dog's ashes? That sounds so stupid to even say out loud now.
I got more ashes. I got more things of ashes than the Grizzlies got healthy players. I got so many ashes. I don't know what to do with them.
Maybe I'll smoke my dog's ashes.
Maybe we should just start smoking.
I gotta clear some space in my house. I need room.
I know. I got a growing shoe collection.
Yeah.
Can't have ashes taking up all the space in my closet.
She does look cool smoking, though.
Yeah, it's a nice dress.
Yeah, I was fully prepared when I saw this headline to make fun and joke. Everything about this seems kind of cool, except I don't think I would do it.
I don't think I would do it, but I don't mind her doing it.
Yeah.
And apparently it was an effective way to launch a podcast, because here we are. I didn't even know this woman existed yesterday. Now I'm talking about her smoking her dad.
Yeah.
I mean, geez.
I might have to check out the pod. She said that her audience has been. Wait, they're the adults in the. I don't know what that means. Never mind.
Remember when we launched this podcast? I was like, let's get Woj for episode 1. I thought that was good.
I thought that was cool. Yeah.
Turns out that was.
We should have done this instead.
I wasn't thinking.
And we both had ashes we could have brought to the table.
I had so many ashes.
I know, yeah. We could have easily done this.
This is crazy. What a missed opportunity.
I know. Now you feel like you're just copying if you.
I just feel stupid.
I know.
I mean, Pugs and everybody was so nice. Mm-hmm. Hired me on January 1, but I didn't even have to start the show till April.
Yeah.
I had like 4 months to think about episode 1.
I think there's smoke detectors in here.
It never once occurred to me to smoke anybody's ashes. I had 4 months to think about how we're going to launch a show. Mm-hmm. And the best I could come up with is Woj on Zoom.
Mm-hmm. Damn it.
Maybe you know what? Maybe I'm not as creative as I think.
You're losing it.
Maybe I'm not as creative as I think.
You're losing it.
I used to think, man, yeah, I know how to plan a show. Mm-hmm. I know how to execute. I don't know nothing. I thought Woj was a good idea for episode 1. This one was smoking ashes.
Mm-hmm.
Bennett, we need to expand our minds a little bit. Start thinking a little more outside the box. I think we've gotten a little too comfortable over here just talking to humans, talking to each other.
Yeah.
We might need to start smoking ashes.
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
I'll consider it.
I'll consider it too.
Number 4.
Paul Skenes last night was named your National League Rookie of the Year.
He needs to smoke something.
Apparently this was...
lighten up, dude.
Lighten up, dude. Apparently this was a little controversial because some thought Jackson Merrill, Padres catcher, should win it. I thought it was Paul Skenes the whole time. I didn't really know this was a debate. Apparently it was a debate.
I had no idea, yeah.
Jackson Merrill's great.
Yeah.
But...
Come on.
It's Paul Skenes. He went 11-3 with a 1.96 ERA, struck out 170 hitters. He was awesome. Started the All-Star game as a rookie. He was unbelievable. So I wasn't surprised last night when he was announced as the National League Rookie of the Year. But he looked like he was either surprised or unfulfilled. Let's watch Paul Skenes' reaction. He's sitting there with his girlfriend, Livy Dunn. Here's Paul Skenes' reaction to learning he is the National League Rookie of the Year.
The 2024 National League Jackie Robinson Rookie of the Year winner is Paul Skenes. Congratulations, Paul.
All right, Bennett.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, hit me with it.
The internet.
I know what they're saying.
You know what they're saying?
Mm-hmm.
So there's trouble in paradise.
The majority of the comments, and I completely agree, said that is a couple that just got in a fight right before they went on camera.
I saw those comments. They said they were fighting an hour ago.
Because the biggest giveaway, obviously he doesn't look like he cares at all, but the biggest giveaway is
he won't even look at her.
Well, he goes in for a kiss, and then they both just turn their heads sideways, you're not getting a kiss right now.
She turns to him and claps I love you.
Yeah.
And he's just won't even look at her. And think about this: there's a lesson in there about all relationships, or at least some relationships. I shouldn't say all. Mm-hmm. Some. There is a moment in Paul Skenes' life where if you said, "Dude, let's just winning Powerball, let's daydream for a minute."
Yeah.
What if one day you were drafted number 1 overall?
Mm-hmm.
As a rookie, you started the All-Star game. You were the Rookie of the Year, and oh, by the way, your girlfriend is Livy Dunn.
Mm-hmm.
What? He'd be like, my God.
Are you serious?
Is that the perfect life?
Yes.
Fast forward to yesterday, he's completely bored by it.
Come on, Paul.
That guy is sitting next to Livy Dunn, and he's bored.
Get that man a jar of ashes.
He needs to smoke some ashes.
Yeah, dude.
That is the least happy anybody has ever looked sitting next to Livy Dunn.
Anything.
You could take 5 college kids from any campus in America, just let them sit next to Livy Dunn, and they would automatically look happy. Yeah. And this guy, look at him. And he gets to hug her and stuff.
I know.
Trouble in paradise. That's what the internet's saying. They're saying they ain't built the last.
I hope not.
You don't ever see Travis and Taylor looking like that, do you?
I mean, listen, I can... no, you don't. I don't know. Maybe he's just uncomfortable on camera.
He's been on camera for years.
I know, right?
That was an
but that's
awkward.
pitching.
That was an awkward interaction. Do you realize
That's really awkward.
If I were sitting next to Livy Dunn and I won an award, I could have had a more natural interaction with her than he did. And he gets to hug her and stuff, and I've never even seen her in real life.
Yeah, I didn't. I need some backstory on this. I need some follow up on this.
Internet says there's trouble in paradise. They ain't built to last. Must be hard though, you know?
Why?
Just these are two very famous people whose lives are blowing up in ways I'm sure neither one of them could have even imagined just say 3 years ago.
Well, she's more famous.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Way more famous.
Even though he's the National League Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, she's like one of the most famous athletes in the world, right? At least as far as social media goes.
My biggest blind spot for years in talking about NIL was always not recognizing Livy Dunn.
Right.
And people like Livy Dunn.
It was always
quarterbacks and point guards.
Yeah.
And it turns out the people who are actually the most valuable in a traditional way, it's a little different because basketball NIL, football NIL, it's not really NIL. It's just pay for play. They're just packaging it in NIL to get you money to come play quarterback or point guard or whatever. But with Livy Dunn, that's actually NIL. People aren't giving her money so that she'll flip for LSU. I don't even think they really care about that. They're giving her money because she's super famous, social media, huge followings. She can bring eyeballs to any product you got.
Yeah.
The same way or Kardashian or Jenner could.
True.
To a different level, but you get the point.
Yeah.
That's who she is. I never properly understood that heading into it. When people would say, so what's NIL going to look like? I should have been able to say, yeah, the quarterbacks and the point guards, but then keep an eye on the, let's just say it plainly, the beautiful young women who happen to have huge social media followings and are also student athletes. They'll be making millions, and that's who Livy Dunn is.
Yep.
Yeah, she's more famous than him, but he's super famous. That's a really famous young couple. I mean, they were the game day pickers.
Yeah.
Together.
Nick said that he was acting like that on game day. I didn't see it, but he said that he was just kind of a wet noodle like that. Maybe he's just not good on camera.
Maybe he just doesn't have much of a personality, right? Well, then which begs the question: how do you get Livy Dunn with no personality?
I mean, you got to be really good at throwing a baseball.
I guess it starts with that.
Yeah.
I guess it starts with that.
Yeah.
But I guess it starts with that.
Maybe we just haven't seen the true Paul yet.
Maybe we don't know the true Paul Skenes. Maybe it's something she sees behind closed doors that we don't see behind because we're not behind the closed doors.
Right.
You know, I don't need to be behind the closed doors. None of my business.
No.
But people said there's trouble in paradise. I don't know if that's true or not, but that was an awkward interaction between two famous young people. I hope the rest of their night was less awkward.
Number 5.
It is firing season in the American Athletic Conference. 2 more coaches got axed yesterday. Right at the end of the show, Tom Herman, he got done at FAU.
Had no clue Tom Herman was the coach at FAU. Just no idea.
Just out of curiosity, went and looked it up last night. Less than 4 years ago, he was the head coach at Texas. Do you know how bad things have to go for you to go from being the head coach at Texas to the fired coach at Florida Atlantic in less than 4 years?
That's pretty unbelievable.
I mean, you got to really be aiming for the bottom.
Was there a stop in between? There had to have been. I mean, he was at Texas. You go from Texas to FAU?
I think he took maybe one of those little
hiatus or something.
Well, we don't have to guess. We could just look at his Wikipedia page.
What's
It'll
going
pop
on?
right up. He went to Texas, and then he was an offensive analyst. This is what I meant. One of those types of jobs with the Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
That's not the place you want to be an offensive analyst.
No, it's not.
You probably ain't gonna learn much there.
No, you're not honing your craft there.
It's not the place to go learn. Imagine thinking the way to get your career back on track is to go learn offense in Chicago.
Yeah, I would advise against that.
Yeah, I guess that explains what happened at Florida Atlantic. So he's done at FAU after less than 2. Didn't even make it to the end of year 2. They owe him $4 million, so at least he, not going to be poor. But there's now 5 AAC coaches who have already been fired. There's only 14 schools in the league. 5 have already been fired. Let me walk you through this.
Yep.
East Carolina fired its coach after being picked to finish tied for 7th in the league, and they're currently 5th in the standings. So at least relative to the preseason conference standings, the ECU coach, a guy named Mike Houston, exceeded expectations.
They fired him. They're probably going to make a bowl game.
And they still got him.
Yeah.
All right. At Rice, they were picked to finish tied for 7th in the preseason AAC poll. They're currently tied for 8th. So about where they were supposed to be. Still, they popped their guy, Mike Bloomgren. Temple was picked 14th in the league. They're currently 8th.
Okay.
That did not save Stan Drayton.
Okay.
By the way, I've never heard of any of these people.
Yeah, I was waiting on you to say a name I recognized.
It'll only be Tom Herman. So, Stan Drayton, he gets done at Temple.
Yeah.
FAU fired Tom Herman. They were picked 6th in the preseason. They're currently 14th. They're 0-6 in the league. I mean, they're really bad. And then Charlotte fired its coach. They were picked 13th in the league, currently 8th in the standings. So they're currently 5 spots better than they were supposed to finish. Coach still got fired. Meantime, Ryan Silverfield.
Trent Dilfer's going to get fired at UAB.
Yeah, you would think so. Yeah, there's probably more to come, right?
Yeah.
Meantime, Ron Silverfield gets an automatic contract extension after being picked to finish 1st in the AAC, currently sitting in 3rd place. And I don't bring that up, just to be clear, to suggest that Memphis should join the list of schools making coaching changes, because they shouldn't. They shouldn't.
No, they should not.
Nobody is even hinting at that. Don't get it twisted.
But people are hinting at that.
Well, they're wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Memphis, for a lot of different reasons, among them money.
Yeah.
Memphis should not make a football
You're
coaching
right.
change.
You're right.
All right.
The money is actually a big proponent of that as well.
Of course.
Too. Yeah, like that'd be a dumb, especially for a league that said they couldn't join the Pac-12 because of money.
That's right. All right. Yeah. You're not making a coaching change,
right?
Nor should you. All right. Because 9-2, which is where Memphis is right now, that's not good enough in this league against this schedule. We did that show yesterday.
Right. Correct.
But 9-2 is still respectable. It's not embarrassing. And we've seen if you make the wrong hire, it can get embarrassing really quickly.
Yes.
All right? So 2 things can be true at the same time. This Memphis team did not meet expectations. This season has been disappointing. That's true. This is also true. It could get worse. So for a variety of reasons, you're not making a coaching change. I'm not suggesting that they should even think about it for a second. What I do find interesting is that in a league where all of these people are getting fired, in many cases for either meeting preseason expectations or exceeding them, there's a clause in Ryan's contract that automatically triggers a contract extension for 9 wins. He signed it in April. Every year going forward, if he wins 9 games, it's an automatic 1-year extension and a $100,000 raise every year. That is a terrible clause for the University of Memphis to agree to. I can't imagine why they did. Because you ready for this? Here's how you know it's a terrible clause. The season ain't even over. We already know it's disappointing, but he's already triggered a contract extension. You shouldn't be able to trigger contract extensions with disappointing seasons. If you can, then somebody on the university side signed a bad contract. There's nobody connected to that program, if they're being honest, would tell you that this season has met expectations. But there's a clause in the contract that creates an automatic extension based off of 9 wins. You should be able to win 9. Given Memphis's NIL resources relative to the rest of the league, you should be able to win 9 games in that league every year.
Every year. Absolutely.
You really? Ryan Silverfield could win 9 games every year forever, never meet expectations, and trigger nonstop contract extensions. Isn't that wild?
Mm-hmm. That is wild. That is wild.
How do you, in this league, how do you agree to the 9-win mark triggering an automatic contract? Like, again, I want to hammer this home. How do you know it's a bad clause for the university? Because you just had a disappointing season and you still reached it. I don't know how they got to that point.
Yeah.
But
I wonder, like, that was also probably in place when the league was a little bit better. No?
In April. We knew who was going to be in this league in April.
Yeah.
Yeah, we knew who was going to be in this league in April. We knew what Memphis football was going to be for the most part in April when the contract was signed.
Yeah,
and now that's the contract. Every year he could win 9 games again next season, and it would also be disappointing, and it would also trigger the contract extension. So it's just a
I mean, it might not be disappointing. Like you could win. You could be in a situation like next year where 9 wins is actually good enough to like win the league. Just depending on how it plays out. I mean, like nobody thought Army would go undefeated or Navy or Tulane would have these. I'm just saying.
How about this? Here's what I would guess.
Yep.
And you ready? We don't even have to guess. We can look it up. I would be skeptical that 9 wins is ever going to win this league. So you could trigger nonstop contract extensions at the University of Memphis as the football coach without ever winning this league, even though you have more resources than anybody else in this league. That's a bad contract clause signed on the university side.
Yeah.
Like last year, SMU and Tulane finished at the top of the league standings. They were both 8-0 in the AAC. They both won 11 games. Year before that, conference champion, 12 games. 9 wins is never going to win a conference championship. So you can trigger contract extensions every year without ever winning a conference championship, even though you have more resources than anybody else in the conference. Somebody messed up.
Yeah, I don't guess not the biggest deal in the world, but it will become a big deal if these 9 and 2s turn into 3s and 6s. Yes, that's very true.
Because then you'll have all these years tied up based off these automatic contract extensions, and you might not be able to, if it ever gets to that, let's hope it doesn't get to that, but you might not be able, it'd cost you millions more to pull the trigger if you ever get to the point when you want to pull the trigger because of this clause in this contract. That clause is going to cost you, if you ever want to make a coaching change, that clause will make it more expensive than it otherwise would have been.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. The game coming up, the Tulane game is going to be interesting. Did you see they're 14.5-point underdogs? Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Is it though?
Yeah, I think so.
Why is it interesting?
Well, because
if they win,
just like last,
if they win,
I know that it's not going to matter in the grand scheme of things.
Actually, it would matter because you'd be able to say, "Hey, we're 10-2, and we beat a nationally ranked team." And that might move them into the AP poll too. I should back up.
That's what I was saying, because
it would matter. I was wrong to say it wouldn't matter.
Yeah, and we know Ryan's going to be the coach of this team next season, and so just like last season, winning that, again, like we've especially in this era of the college football playoff, we'd agreed that bowl games are less meaningful than they've ever been before. But still, you were playing that Iowa State team, a Power 5 opponent that was pretty good.
Yeah.
And we said, hey, if you win this game, it gives you some positive momentum heading into next season. Now, you're going to lose your star quarterback going into next season, so you got a big thing you got to address there. But if you're able to beat a ranked team on the road, we'll see who they play in the bowl game. I do think that there's still an opportunity to gain back some trust from the fan base.
I do too.
A little bit.
Actually, yeah. I took it too far. I do think if you were to go win at Tulane and then go win a bowl game against not some terrible, but like an Iowa, whatever the equivalent of last season's Iowa State is, and you finish this thing 11-2, ranked in the top 25.
Yeah,
I think that does change things.
I think it really does too. You just can't say.
You'll still say it didn't come with a conference championship, so disappointing by definition.
But you can't say that was a bad season for Memphis.
But 11-2 with a win at Tulane, a win over a quality opponent in a bowl game, and you are 22nd in the final AP poll. You could still be disappointed because it didn't come with a conference trophy.
Mm-hmm.
But even I would have to tell Memphis fans at that point, you just finished the season 11-2. You won your bowl game, and you're ranked 22nd in the AP poll.
Yeah, you gotta be content with that.
Yeah, I don't know. You got to be content, but like, we'll stop calling this
a disaster.
And nobody's ever called it a disaster.
No, it's not a disaster. It's not a disaster. They won 9 games.
The real disaster is that they won 9 games. They might win 11, and you can't draw people to the Liberty Bowl anymore because people aren't either invested or just don't care about watching Memphis play these types of teams over and over again. That's the disaster, if there is a disaster. The football program is not actually a disaster. The season has been disappointing, and it will forever be that no matter what happens going forward, because you didn't even play in the conference championship game of a league that you were expected to win. But 11-2 with a win at Tulane and a win in a bowl game, and you're in the top 25 AP poll to finish the season, that's good stuff.
Yes, and it's okay for the fan base to sit here and say, it's disappointing because of this league, and we've talked about it a ton, how disastrous this league is. Evidence being, they fired half their coaches already. Like, that's...
Well, think about that.
That is what it is.
I mean, that's another way to put it.
Yeah.
In a year where you were picked to win your league, and like half the league fired their coaches, you still couldn't even get to the championship game.
Right.
Yeah. It's not great.
Right.
It's not great. All right, be back with GP's Carryout.
Goldberg announces he's going to have a retirement match in 2025, and he said this on College Game Day.
We know you're trying to ride the coattails because the 2025 is supposed to be the year of John Cena. Goldberg, I have a message for you, my guy. We don't care about your retirement match. Your retirement match was 3 years ago. Go somewhere, go away.
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
Who will lead the Grizz in steals this season?
I'm going to go with Pippen for steals this season.
So I'm going to go with Jaren.
I'm going to go, as long as he's in the rotation, I'm going to go Jake LaRavia for total steals, and I'll have Marcus Smart in my back pocket for steals per game.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizzbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing compares to catching your Grizzlies IRL. And that all starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight. Put that jersey collection to use for the next game and get Grizzlies tickets at Ticketmaster. Whether they're here at FedEx Forum or on the road, Ticketmaster's got your back when it comes to scoring tickets. And there's no better brag than saying you saw it live.
When it's all on the line, you turn to the strong, the stable, the unwavering. To those with a history of raising their performance, to meet the moment. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle. Play hard, bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st. And you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
Welcome back, Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South. Looks like a nice day outside. We got thunderstorms last night. You still got power and everything? Did you have thunderstorms last night?
Yeah, I did. It was a wild night last night.
It got loud last night.
Yeah, it got wild in the Doyle house.
What happened?
Oh, just everyone's always sick. It just sucks.
It's because you're a Grizzly.
When you have kids, just know.
Yeah.
Multiple kids, someone's always going to be sick.
Yeah.
You will never go a day in your life until they're grown that one of them will not always be sick.
What's the age difference between your boys?
4 years. Yeah. 1 and 5. Yeah.
I'll wait till they get to fighting every day.
Oh, we're starting to get close.
Oh man.
Yeah, we're starting.
It's like
because the baby is starting to like spread his wings.
I lost my mind yesterday.
Yeah.
I had to seriously make threats.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking about they weren't in the house 90 seconds before the first fight started. They both want to play with the same thing. There is 1,000 things in our home to do. All right. And they always want to do the exact same thing. At the exact same time.
That's right.
And I had to set them both down because you never know what's going on, right? And it's never anybody's fault.
Right, you just walk into it when
you walk in and
chaos,
somebody's crying. All right, that's where you enter. It's like imagine walking into the movie theater. You're watching. There's a movie. It's already started.
Right.
All right, it's already started, and all you see is somebody crying, but you don't know what led up to this. You just got to the theater. You were late to the movie, and so you're like. You asked, and imagine you could just pause it and ask everybody in the theater, but then nobody would tell you the truth.
Right.
That's what you run into every time.
Right.
It is never anybody's fault. The person crying never did anything.
No.
And the person who's not crying clearly made the person who is crying cry, but it's because the person crying really deserved it because you wouldn't believe the thing that they did before the thing that happened that caused the crying. But the person crying is still going to insist they didn't do nothing. And this is every 2 hours.
Yeah.
And I finally yesterday just lost it. And I set them both down. And I said, I'm not asking any questions anymore about anything. If either one of you cries the rest of the day for any reason whatsoever, you're both in trouble. Both iPads are gone, PS5s are gone. Tell me what else you like. I like watching YouTube's gone then. What else do you like? I really like Captain Crunch. No Captain Crunch then. That's over with. If either one of you are crying, this is the way I finally just had to put it this way. I don't care why you cry. I don't care who's crying. You're both in trouble. So if you cry, you both lose everything. If you cry, you both lose everything. So either hang out and be awesome with each other and don't hurt each other, or stay away from each other. But I cannot deal with the crying anymore. We're done. And we got through the whole night.
Oh, good. Hey, it worked.
It was actually a great night.
That's awesome.
I talked to him.
Okay.
I talked to him about it on the.
Let me go ahead and put that one in my back pocket.
And we had a great. I had to dual threat.
Yeah.
And say I don't care whose fault it is. Like, do you understand? If you get hit for no reason and start crying, you're in trouble. All right? I don't want to hear, but Oliver hit me for no reason. You're in trouble. You shouldn't have got that close to his arm. I just talked to you. I just told you stay away from his arms. All right? We had this conversation on the way to school this morning. I said, hey, I just want to tell both of you, I'm really proud of you.
Yeah, thank you.
We had no fights last night, and this morning was great.
Good.
I think it worked.
Good.
I wasn't joking about that Captain Crunch. Let me ask you a question. I noticed this last night. Luke came to me, he said, Dad, can you want some cereal's like at the very top of the pantry, and I can barely get it, so he don't stand a chance. And he was like, can you get me some cereal? I said, of course. I said, what do you want? He said, Captain Crunch. I grabbed the Captain Crunch. I'd never seen this before. Captain Crunch, no crunch berries.
Oh, yeah. It's the OG, the traditional. Yeah.
There was a Captain Crunch with no crunch berries?
Oh, yeah, man. I think it was the first. I think crunch berries came later in life.
Who would not want crunch berries, though?
I kind of enjoy a bowl of the OG. Dude,
crunch berries, though.
They're great. They're great. I do think psychos eat the ones that are like, you can also buy the just crunch berries with no captain, and that's insane. No, that's insane. You're like, you can just taste like your teeth eroding. Like it's
like little sugar balls.
Yes, that's wild. I like a little sweet. I like the regular Captain Crunch is good for me. Although the Captain Crunch, the issue is like it rips your mouth into shreds. Like it's like eating razor blades.
No.
Yes.
You can't say that about Captain Crunch.
Dude, Captain Crunch like shreds the inside of your mouth.
Not my incisors.
Yes,
my incisors work.
No, it like rips your gums apart.
You might not have good incisors.
Dude, I'm telling you.
You could have subpar incisors.
You cannot eat a bowl of Captain Crunch without having some kind of damage to the inside of your mouth.
don't think that's true.
It's so true.
That's a reckless thing to say publicly about Captain Crunch.
It's so true. It is so true.
I just looked at my son. I was like, son, what have I taught you? I said, who picked this out? Who picked this out?
Yeah.
And because here's the other problem. As long as I'm just complaining about stuff.
Keep going. It's okay.
Here's the other problem. Too many people in my house have access to the Kroger cart.
Oh, yeah.
You got too many people with access to the Kroger cart.
So y'all put in the order and then you go pick it up.
Oh, no. That's way too much.
Wait, what?
They have to bring it to us.
Kroger delivers?
Oh, yeah.
Damn, what kind of Kroger you live next to? I'm trying to get one of those.
Actually, the best Kroger in the Memphis area.
I was going to say, I got a pretty good Kroger next to me. You know, we upgraded Kroger's in the move, and I like my new Kroger, but they're not delivering to my house.
The Hernando Kroger is...
That's impressive.
It's a nice Kroger.
Yeah.
All right? But they will mess your order up every time. It'll never be right. Like
No, it's never right.
0% chance of that.
Yeah.
It'll never be right, but you just sort of...
I accept it because I love Kroger.
Well, that's what I actually talked to my wife. I said, why do you keep doing this? If every time you ordered a pizza from Papa John's, they got it wrong, you would stop doing that at some point.
Yeah.
And she just sort of said, I would rather them forget 3 items out of 80, forget 3, than me spend an hour in a grocery store.
Yeah,
I can't argue with that, can I?
I can't either.
I can't argue with that
either.
But anyway, too many people got access to the Kroger cart. So people always just throwing stuff in there, and then somebody hits submit, and next thing you know, they deliver 11 boxes of cereal. And we just got too much of it.
Yeah.
So I'm digging through all the cereals last night looking for the Captain Crunch. I find it. And then I noticed quickly, no Crunch Berries. I said, what kind of son have I raised? I said, did you order this Captain Crunch? He said he requested it. I said, do you not know about Crunch Berries? And he wasn't as familiar with Crunch Berries as I know I was when I was his age.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are we teaching our kids?
That's interesting. I want to put y'all onto something that nobody knows anything about.
Okay.
There is a cereal. You can't get it in the stores. You have to order it online.
What?
Okay. My dad used to eat it when he was a kid. Okay. And so, like, one year for Christmas, we got him some because it was just like a nostalgia thing. It's called Quisp. Quisp. And
spell that.
The Quisp. Quisp.
That's a stupid name for a cereal.
Look that up. I believe that the mascot's like a purple alien looking thing or something.
Okay.
You see it? Is it popping up?
Oh, yeah, I got it.
You see that alien?
Yeah.
It is a superior Captain Crunch. Is it Captain or Captain?
I think it's
Captain.
I think it's
you got to abbreviate Captain
Crunch.
It is a superior.
It's capping like you're capping. Captain Crunch.
Yeah. Quisp.
This is another one of those things people don't know.
Quisp is a superior Captain Crunch. If you can find it, I believe you can order it online. It is incredible. Do that.
First off, let's back up for a minute. We'll get back to Quisp. Let's back up. 5 minutes ago, if I'd asked you what is the cereal with Crunch Berries, what would you have said?
Captain Crunch.
Would you have?
Yes.
You know
I've
it's
been saying
capping.
it.
You know it's capping.
I knew it was Captain.
It's... Am I an idiot? I would have my whole life. I've just been saying Captain Crunch.
Captain Crunch, yeah. No, I think most people probably say Captain Crunch.
I say Captain Crunch.
I consider myself a bit of a cereal connoisseur, so I knew it was Captain.
It's Captain. It's C-A-P apostrophe N. Captain. Is Captain Crunch? Is he even a captain? Do we know that?
He looks like kind of the master and commander. He looks like one of those British naval captains.
But is he a captain? I think I've always assumed he's a captain because I always thought it was Captain Crunch. I thought he was Captain Crunch.
Yeah.
But he's not Captain Crunch. He's just Captain Crunch.
Oh, I'm wondering if there's some like maybe you can't call that little guy captain because he's not really a captain. That's maybe when they invented the cereal that there was something against it.
Now you're on the For You tab, and you got all these theories about stuff you don't even know.
I guarantee you, I could take what I just said, post that on the For You tab with like a picture of Captain, and go viral.
Okay, mystery solved. Captain Crunch is depicted as a late 18th century naval captain.
That's what I said.
He is a captain. Then why don't they just call him Captain Crunch? Why is he Captain Crunch?
There's got to be a reason.
I don't know. Let's go back to Quisp. It's a sugar-sweetened breakfast cereal from the Quaker Oats Company. It was introduced in '65, and continued as a mass market grocery item until the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
Quisp made its return to supermarkets as it's back. It's back.
It's back in the stores?
It's been back since 2000.
I don't think you can find it at the stores. I think you got to like order it online.
Let me just read to you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
You can have all these thoughts.
All right, go ahead.
And then I'll just read facts to you.
All right.
I'll counter your thoughts.
Hit me with it.
I'll counter your thoughts with facts.
Okay.
Quisp made its return to supermarkets as a mass market grocery item in late 2012.
Mm-hmm.
It's been around for 12 years, Bennett.
You can't get it at the store, so not Kroger.
I just read you a sentence that says you can get it in the store and you can do it.
You can't go to the store and find that here. I'm telling you, go try to find it. I look for it all the time.
I will throw.
Hey, there it is.
What if
I'm telling y'all? Hey, get you a box of that. If you like Captain Crunch, get you a box of Quisp. It's better. It's better.
I tell you what, I went to look. It is not at my Hernando Kroger.
I'm telling you, I don't think Kroger carries it. This is a unique cereal.
I tried to get some Quisp, and Hernando Kroger said,
"We ain't got it."
They said, "You want some queso? We got queso." The closest they got to Quisp is queso at the Bennett, I'm going to order me some then.
Yeah, get you some.
I'm going to get you some Quisp.
Tell me it's not better than Captain Crunch. The consistency, that stuff ain't going to shred your mouth.
I know,
it's not.
But I'm looking at Quisp right now, and I don't see crunch berries in there.
You probably have to add them. They don't. Come on, dude. This was made in the '60s. Crunch berries weren't invented yet. Okay, we didn't have that technology.
Technology to make crunch berries yet?
Yeah,
crunch berries come much later.
Yes.
I'm looking at all the different variations of Captain Crunch right now, buddy. You ain't lived till you messed around with peanut butter crunch.
I like it, but I like the regular better. It just take.
I don't
like peanut butter. I don't like peanut butter cereal.
I like peanut butter everything.
I like pean't butter. I don't like peanut butter cereal.
If I get a smoothie,
oh yeah,
I want
now you better put some peanut butter in that.
Man, I don't even want a smoothie if you don't put peanut butter in it.
Yeah,
I don't want Captain Crunch unless you put crunch berries on it.
This is one of those things that just like, and we're really going on.
What are we
tangent,
doing?
But like, speaking of peanut butter,
it's like we forgot we're actually like
doing a show.
We're just like
chit chatting,
just hanging out.
I have gone my whole life thinking that peanut butter was like good for you, and it's not.
Well,
like I just like always assumed until like 5 years ago that peanut butter was good for you.
Do you know what Captain Crunch's the all crunch berries box is called? It's called Captain Crunch. Oops, all berries.
I remember that. I remember the campaign that they did.
It's like they forgot to put the crunch in there.
Yeah,
it was just all berries. Oops, we messed up. I'll try some of that.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of different versions. Anyway, Captain Crunch. I wonder if most people think it's Captain Crunch. I'm
sure they do.
If you just went out on the streets and talked to people like they're Hawktua girl, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you just went out to people and was talking to people like that and said, hey, what is that cereal that has crunch berries and a naval captain is depicted as the mascot? What is that called? I bet you 82% of people would say Captain Crunch.
Captain Crunch.
They would.
Yeah.
They just would.
Yeah.
All right.
Get you some Quisp.
Yeah, I'm going to. Let's do GP's carryout.
It's time for GP's carryout. One final segment filled with stuff to take with you. It's not everything you need to know, but it's most of it. What did we learn today?
Whole bunch of stuff, but the most important thing is that we got an NBA Cup game happening tonight inside FedEx Forum.
Is Jokic here? Has anyone seen him?
All fathers can make their own decisions. Mm-hmm. That goes without saying. But if I were a 3-time MVP and I just had my first son, there is no scenario where I would travel, leave my beautiful wife, not to mention my daughter, and my baby boy, my newborn. There is no scenario where I'd leave them to fly to Memphis, Tennessee to play in a cup game.
No. These are precious memories.
You'll never get this time back.
You will never get this time back.
Jokic, you'll never get this time back. You will have more NBA Cup games.
Of course.
Home and away. You'll never have today again. November 19th, 2024, you'll never get this day again. All right? How you want this day to go down in your journal? How you want this day to go down in your journal? On November 19, 2024, I once again sat bedside next to my beautiful baby boy, my first son, my little joker. Is that what you want your journal to say? Or I got my shot blocked by Jay Huff. What do you want to put in your journal? Nikola Jokic, what do you want to put in your journal today? I know what I would want because the little joker, he going to grow up. And I'm assuming he'll be able to read someday.
Mm-hmm.
Stumble into your dad's journal and go to November 19, 2025. I wonder what Dad was up to a couple days after my dad was born. I wonder what Dad was up to. Open up that journal. November 19, 2020. Got dunked on by Jay Huff.
Damn.
Does that mean Dad wasn't with me? Then you got to come back to your dad. Dad, where were you? Me and Mom were in the hospital. Where were you? I went down to Memphis. Got my shot blocked by Jay Huff. Is that really what you want your son?
No, absolutely not.
You want to answer? You want to have to answer? You want to have that conversation someday? You want to have that conversation someday? I don't think you do. It's not a conversation I want to have with my sons.
No.
You'll have more NBA Cup games. Skip this one. Rejoin your team Friday in Denver when the Dallas Mavericks are in town.
That's the
Save
play.
yourself for Luka and Kyrie.
Yeah.
You don't want to put Jay Huff blocked your shot in your journal. Save yourself for Luka and Kyrie.
What's today's biggest game?
Okay, for us, it's clearly Grizz-Nuggets, but in reality, in the NBA, there is a big game tonight.
What's going on?
Your undefeated Cleveland Cavaliers, 15-0.
Oh, yeah, this is a big one.
Are in Boston, facing the reigning champs who are 11-3. Tip at 6 o'clock. It's on TNT. The Cavs are just the fourth team ever to start at least 15-0. LeBron never did it. But Darius Garland has somehow. The undefeated Cavs are 5.5-point underdogs on the road tonight. TD Garden will be packed. The total is 234.5. Big bet, Bennett. How you going to act?
Yeah, it looks like everybody's going to play. I think I'm leaning towards Boston just crushes them.
It does feel like that, doesn't it?
Yeah. They're 15-0. It's, you go take your swing, but like this, it's a cup game, it's a big game, and I feel like the Celtics are gonna want to show, dude, we're the champs. Like you're going through us. I think Boston crushes them.
Bennett predicts a message will be sent tonight inside TD Garden to the 15-0 Cavaliers. He's taking the Boston Celtics -5.5. I should update you on your record. I don't think I've updated you lately.
The stupid Cowboys.
They are stupid.
Have some pride.
They don't have no heart. They don't have no heart. Your record's now 165, 166, and 4. Negative 19 units. 19.0. But you've been in this range for a while now.
I know. I've been in around 500 forever.
You've been in this range for a while.
I know. I just can't.
You've been like somewhere between 17.2 and 20.4.
I can't get over the hump.
It's just, you're right in this range. Tonight, Boston -5.5. If you win it, your record will be back to 500. You'll be negative 18 units. Good luck.
Okay, thanks.
Good luck to you tonight.
What are we watching on TV?
Have you started watching The Cage? Do you know what The Cage is?
No.
The Cage, it's a new series on Netflix.
Okay.
It's a 5-part series. Dreaming of going pro, a young fighter struggles to be seen until an unexpected face-off lands him a shot at the big time.
Okay.
It's like a modern-day Rocky, but make it MMA.
Okay.
Can I interest you in The Cage?
This is a scripted show, right?
Yes, it's an action drama, season 1.
Who's in it?
Oh man,
who's the star?
That's the problem.
Yeah, that's the problem.
You're not gonna like any of this. Melvin Boomer,
The Cage,
Bosch. There's an actor named Bosch with an exclamation point. That person's in this.
Oh, George St. Pierre's in it. He's an MMA legend.
He's the only person's name I recognize here. I don't know these characters. I don't know these folks. Who are these people?
I might pass.
Hey, it's
I enjoy the UFC, but I've come to find that like these shows or movies that like depict MMA just don't really do it for me.
You don't think it's going to do it for you?
I don't think it's going to do it for
top 5. It's top 5 in television shows right now at Netflix.com.
Okay. What do I know? I did finish The Penguin though.
What do you think?
Great. I really liked it. Yes.
So great. I need to finish it.
I think you need to finish it. It was just. I was just surprised by it because I wasn't excited about it when they announced that they were doing this show. And then a couple episodes passed and I saw it was catching on. So I was like, okay, I need to dive into this. I love the Batman and I love that universe. And so and Colin Farrell's great. And it was really good. I think the thing that helped was it being an HBO series where they could do whatever they want. And, it'll be interesting because, this show, is definitely, what TVMA or whatever. There's, extreme violence.
I like extreme violence.
Yeah. But stuff that they couldn't get away with in a PG-13 Batman movie. So it'll be interesting when the Batman 2 comes out. I would assume it's still going to be a PG-13 movie so you can get a wider audience, do better at the box office. But I liked how they did this. I was like, man, give me R-rated Batman. I want that.
All right, fine. I'm going to finish the big one. I'm going to finish it for you. I just once it's already done and everybody's already watched it, I always feel like I got left out.
No, I thought
I missed the bus a little bit.
It takes a few episodes to get invested, but man, I thought the last 3 episodes were really good.
Okay, I'm gonna finish that, and then guess what I tried to do last night? I failed, but I tried. I attempted. I tried to put on Gladiator. Because I've still never seen Gladiator for some stupid reason.
Oh, that's insane.
I've never seen Gladiator.
Gladiator 2 comes out this weekend.
Friday.
Yeah, Friday.
So I was like, I think
I'm going to see it.
I think I'm going to want to see Gladiator 2 because everybody else is going to want to see it, and I don't want to feel left out. But I got to watch Gladiator 1. So last night after Gonzaga, San Diego State, I turned it on. Mm-hmm. And then guess what happened?
Passed out,
Buddy, I was gone. Baby gone. I just can't keep my eyes open when I'm laying down.
I think I'm going to watch it. I'm definitely going to rewatch it before I go see the new one. I don't know if I'll get to see it this weekend, but I'm going to see it soon. I'm going to see it very soon.
All right. The Cage. That's what we were talking about. The Cage. It's on Netflix now if you want to watch it. It's got a bunch of people we don't know in it, but it's top 5 in television shows, so it's got to be something there.
What's the best thing we've read?
Well, over at CBSSports.com, I did update the top 25 and 1, and I wrote about the sons of former Memphis players who are now starring at Arkansas for John Calipari. So we talked about it earlier in the show. If you want to read a few more words about it, you can find them CBSSports.com.
What's on tap for tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow's Wednesday. We'll be looking back at Grizzlies-Nuggets. Chris Vernon will join me in studio. So it should be a fun show. Looking forward to it already. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll enjoy mine. Meet me back here tomorrow at 10. Till then, be careful, be kind, be good. Rep your hood.
I can't tell you how many people texted me and thought it was the funniest thing ever that you were sitting on the front row in your jersey.
Yo, no.
You were wearing a Tony Allen jersey on the front row. They're like, yo, tell him to check in.
That joke was smeedy. I told Tia, I saw Tia, I said,
I didn't have a hoodie on, though. I mean, a sweater on.
I told Tia, you should have sized up on that joint, man.
Yo, shout out to Robin Hood, man.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
It's the top 5 worst teams in the NFL. I think the Panthers are the worst team in the NFL.
I got the Saints number 1. Let's put the Aints up there. They're terrible.
I'll take the Titans as my worst team in the NFL. If they played Will Levis, they're for sure the worst team. Maybe in NFL history. Might be worse than the 0-16 Lions if they play Will Levis.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Can't wait. It's time to get it popping.
It's going to be crazy. The fans are going to be loud. We need just energy.
Yes. Back to Jared for the flash.
We're going to need, the Forum rocking. We're going to need, everybody in Memphis to be out there to come to support. When the fans are good, we're good. Simple as that.
A Bane 3. Yes, sir. Desmond Bane with ice water in his veins.
We'll ride the energy together.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Grizzlies fans, dunks, dimes, and no-looks are great on TV, but nothing compares to catching them IRL. And that starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight in person. From seeing your favorite Grizzly stars up close to hearing the squeak of the sneakers on the hardwood. Put that jersey collection to use and get tickets at Ticketmaster. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you